ready to jump into the Lanadon one more time for the people back at home. Are you part of the Cavalry or are you part of the Sonics? Leave your votes in the live chat below. TL win or ONIC win as we dive into the Lanadon with Natan flying over.
This is literally them playing to their strengths, banking on their comfort picks as well, but apparently it's an XP Hilda and they roam our lot for ONIC ID. So it seems like the aggression nonetheless doesn't change. It just has a little bit more of the element of crowd control too, and surprise in the mid lane, which I feel like you'd have to be careful of if you're Sanji. I mean, he does have the Purify, that's one, but you don't want to have to use it every now and then because of the final slashes and because of the knockups from Sans.
Good take by Severo there. Master Assassin for both the gold laners. Pull yourself together again back-to-back for Sans in the mid lane. Everything else does seem quite normal. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah. I guess what's interesting to me is the fact that we are getting a Hilda XP instead of the Hilda Roam with the Arlet in Roam. Because with the Fredgen, you usually want more damage on the Arlet. I'm not too big of a fan of this. Carl doing a good job at zoning Severo. Down below, it's also not the best of matchups for Lutpi.
Yeah. They just also probably want to have easier access to the way it can disrupt or disturb Sanji in terms of positioning and whatever he wants to do, but I must say, in terms of the gold lane and EXP lane matchup, they're still managing things pretty well. Not until ONIC ID decide to rotate down bottom. Sanford already pretty low, but Sanji and JP are here to provide some support. But Sans and Lutpi, or Kyrie rather, will be there too, so they won't be converting anything into a kill just yet. But I take it back. Sanford will be the first blood.
Great pick. Sans waited there, put up a camp basically, set up a tent. Just waited there, got the kill, now has Bird of the Ocean.
Whoa.
It's an invade onto the Lancelot. This should be a free turtle. Yeah, retry use for Carl.
Ooh, a lot of pressure coming in from ONIC ID, from EXP lane, all the way to Carl TZ and his purple buff. Keyboy just keeps going at it, uses the final slash onto JP. There's the knock from the Breath of the Ocean. Lutpi gets the last hit too, and
they take orange.
Even orange.
Wow. This is really good by ONIC. So this is like a Sans, Breath of the Ocean!
Oh, Sanford might fall once more, but fortunately has the Flicker. Kyrie there too, Energy Eruption, but there's the Purify from Sanji to get out of that. Insane control from ONIC ID. Pressure too, you could definitely see that Carl TZ is not having the best time of his life.
You really have to respect the level of coordination by ONIC here. Because the way you play the Fredgen nowadays is very different to the way you play Fredgen back in the day. Breath of the Ocean canceling out a possible puncture. Sans gives out the thumbs up. And again, to get back to that point, back in the day, Fredgen was just so strong.
Yeah.
You could just invade very early in the game and you would win. Here now, the Fredgen is strong, yes, but you're not a solo hero anymore. You can't just invade alone. You need a team to surround you. And that's why ONIC here have just rotated together with the Fredgen constantly and have just punished Liquid when they were caught lacking.
I mean, look at Kyrie on the Fredgen 2 levels ahead of Carl.
This is not, yeah, like Fredgen Lance, that's not how the matchup is supposed to go.
This is something. ONIC ID have seemed to go into this match with a clear picture and idea of how they're going to deal with Team Liquid. I mean, that confident pickup on the Kadita in the first phase of the draft, that to me already seemed like something from ONIC Indonesia, and now they're showing us how it's done. Not even Sanford gets to go out of his lane first or as much. And even if he does, like, he'll be just there to provide additional support to his teammates, to Carl TZ, who's clearly being disturbed most of the time whenever he tries to attempt to go for his jungle, and Kyrie denies him of this. Oh, look at that two-man knock-up with the Breath of the Ocean. Final slash also committed onto Sanji. He couldn't even use the Fenrir Strike.
Blazing new win from Severo! And the Breath of the Ocean, ONIC ID! That's a 4-1. They've lost their utility jungler. Keyboy jumps in, looking for the stun, able to get it. That's the Breath of the Ocean again. Lutpi charging in, and Oheb is forced back as ONIC go for the turtle. Even without Kai, Team Liquid were baited in to a taunting ONIC. Like, Dude, Kai basically taunted them by jumping in and securing orange buff. That forced him to go in. TL were like, we're not having that. We're going to kill you. But ONIC just turned it around saying, sure, you can kill us, but you will be punished. Everyone corralled in, and it was beautiful because oh wait, there's a battle there. Live cam view. All right, Keyboy, Suns, nice suit.
Wait, Carl TZ, can he get out of this? He might actually do. BMI out for Severo. So Team Liquid do find some kills to catch up. But yeah, going back, that was still a very commendable decision from ONIC ID. I mean, Kyrie just stood there. You would think he would want to reserve that retribution, but maybe not. He's already way up ahead anyway. And him getting or being able to take that away from Carl TZ, it just slows down Team Liquid a lot more. Because even to this point, he's still way behind Kyrie. All members of Team Liquid are actually significantly behind ONIC ID, but the good thing for Team Liquid, I feel, is at least they're able to hold onto their objectives, onto their turrets. They're not letting ONIC ID get any of these just yet, but that might be what they could work on next, because ONIC ID at this point, now that they're ahead, they can feel a lot more confident to just group up together and find something.
And again, to go back to the point of the replay, when ONIC are fighting in that clumped up spot, you know, like a small choke points, it becomes incredibly hard for Liquid because they're gonna get CC'd constantly by Kai, by Sans. Keyboy gets unlimited dashes, and their AoE is ridiculous with Severo. Again, the Arlo with the final slat, it's just too much AoE. You have to try to fight ONIC in a big spot on the map. You don't want to be in those clinch points. Lippy's just split pushing on the Hilda.
Hey.
There you go, a free turret down below for ONIC ID.
That kind of reminds me of Kirk. This is kind of like how he does or plays the Hilda. But yeah, I do agree. This is also why Team Liquid has or was forced to have the Purify on Sanji and Oheb. When things get too messy, it's almost a guaranteed way for ONIC ID to get the pickoffs because they can just layer their crowd controls after one another. Sanji already uses the wings by wings, and they can only do so much, get some information. Every now and then, they can't really confidently go in for the contest as of this moment.
Nope. I think the one thing we can talk about Liquid is the fact that they have really good clear. Lancelot, Farsa, and Moscow. So they have a plan B here. If ONIC ID get a crazy lead, ONIC will still have to team fight their way into a victory. Like, there's no way they can just purely siege with this kind of composition. They're gonna jump on Sanford.
Oh, look at the chain, CC. We just mentioned it, but there's a split somehow. Sanford gets to walk away, but ONIC ID, they seem to fear no one. Even Sanford looks or can be a target for ONIC ID at this point. Even if you look at the items that Severo currently has, just needs one more item to complete that Trinity build, and you could already expect the damage, his potential to shred down even the tankiest members of Team Liquid. To think that we already saw the Blazing do it too once in this game, I believe, and it was already dealing a decent amount of damage, so Team Liquid have to be very careful about this. Sans goes in, bursts down. JP might actually finish off the kill. There's the counter predators like coming in from Sanji. Carl TZ, he doesn't land the Phantom Execution onto Severo because he's still at the BMI. And Keyboy still finds him!
A mount down as he brings him back under target. Keyboy! Still getting the kill! But now Lutpi, it's Kyrie who tanks the turret to ensure Lutpi gets away. Keyboy for Carl and JP. Sanford walks up, Breath of the Ocean landing now with a knockup too. Blazing away from Severo!
Oheb won't be able to make it out alive! San duo, they have to walk away. And as you've seen it, that Arlot, that was, I don't know if it was just a roam Arlot anymore. It literally had decent amount of damage too. It was the one able to get that last hit onto Carl TZ, dived in, took that risk, forced the fight even under the turret for Team Liquid, but yet again, JP, he could barely move, he can't do anything with all these final slashes and Breaths of the Ocean.
Kyrie wants to go for more, for the airstrike coming down as Keyboy goes for the side, able to go for the stun now. Constantly putting it down, another vengeance on Carl, he jumps in, almost, maybe getting the kill! Oh! Saves the game for Liquid. That's a breath of fresh air.
Okay, I apologize. That was a surprise steal. Too much of a surprise from OHEB. I can't even recall if there was anyone who could have gave out the information to him. But it was such a well-timed spear of destruction, allowing Team Liquid to still stay in the game, although they somehow still are, no matter what you say, but it clearly has been under control for ONIC ID. Now they will attempt to take this in this mid lane turret, but there are too much members from ONIC ID trying to keep it together. And all the while this was happening, Mirko, I did not notice how well managed the bottom lane was for Team Liquid. So that was probably also something OHEB was able to do, and now he's working on the other side of the map as well.
3-item power spike, 10 minutes and 47 seconds to claim it. And this is looking good for OHEB. Looking good for Team Liquid too. They've bought a bit more time. Remember, ONIC ID, they're kind of fighting against the clock here. The composition should get outscaled. Should. I'm not sure. We'll see, because it should, right? The Farsa should have a better late game than the Kadita. Everyone, except for maybe the Claude, right? So it's a battle of prolonging the game, and OHEB literally got them a get-out-of-jail-free card with that steal.
Yeah, and Team Liquid at this point have also probably realized that they should be picking where the fights take place, because in those very narrow spots, it's clearly ONIC ID who gets the advantage, and I think we talked about this earlier too. So now that they have a bit more room to move around the map to decide on where they will be choosing to engage ONIC ID, then they can potentially be the ones to position themselves first and not get taken by surprise as much by Sans. Still is a major threat to Team Liquid. We can't deny the fact that he is, but I think that's another thing too. Like, they have to be careful on who they're letting or who they're assigning to check the brushes, the members of ONIC ID, because even JP can get bursted down, and we've seen it happen a lot of times in this game. So that's something Team Liquid definitely has to consider in the upcoming seconds or minutes of this game. But so far it seems like all they want is just to manage the map and the macro before the next fight breaks out.
Yeah, because they know OHEB. OHEB's part in the bush. Spear of Misery baited out, and OHEB sent back to the base. So yeah, they know that OHEB is the guy that can make things happen right now. Clearing out the side lanes, appearing in fights, stealing lords. Mans can do everything. And that's why TLPH are going to have to bank on him, at least for now, to continuously hold that way for them. Because if not, then ONIC get a free forced error.
Yeah. And now it's ONIC slowly approaching the Lord. Might be the first ones to actually position and set up for this take. They know that OHEB has just cleared the lane up top. He-Boy is someone you have to pay attention to, but it's not actually any other member they try to go for. It's Sanford who they try to burst down. Sands will also get to receive the damage from the Fettered Airstrike. Ludwig trying to zone the other members, but Carl trying to fight Kyrie head-on in terms of the retribution, but Kyrie actually wins it out!
Kai wins a retry, Severo wipes the back, Carl gets a kill on Kai, but it's 3, 4, 1. Lupi walking up the bush, Carl on the orange buff now as he goes in, secures the orange buff. Keyboy looking for the chase, goes in, able to get the vengeance, but that's about it, only one. Carl should be able to escape.
He has all his skills intact for him to make it out alive, but can they still save the game? Final slash picker committed on the Sanford. There's the Breath of the Ocean. Chain CC all over again, and Savero with a free hit. There's still some bit of sustain, but it won't keep him safe. Phantom execution from Carl!
Jumps in with a puncture, saves the day again. Feathered Airstrike coming down too. Mid lane base turret will fall. That's an SOD landing. OHEB gets the Spear of Misery, pins him down. Sans falling. T-Boy as well. JP's the one who gets the shutdown. OHEB didn't get a kill, but TL get 2.
Okay, so after that, Team Liquid have somehow still showed some signs of life. They're definitely fighting for this. They want to go for the turrets. 2 members. They see and feel the damage coming in from Saji, and Carl sees as well. He finds Lupi, and now it's Savero. He's after!
Carl TZ! What are you made of? 7 seconds on Sans. Carl jumps in the base. We saw a comeback in game number 1. We see the GOAT shine in game number 2.